Today we're going to use the Tinkercad sketch tool to make a fantastic clip that has pretension, so let's get cracking. For this project we'll be using Tinkercad.com. It is 100% free, runs in a browser. Simply visit the website and you can start designing. This is where our designs are stored. Right over here is where we can hit create. Today we're going to create a brand new 3D design. Step one for me is always to name it. We're going to call this one clip, and I'm going to put a 26 after it. As soon as you click down here, it is saved. In Tinkercad, we can build with basic shapes. This one is called the tube. When you bring it out, I'm bringing it close to the center of the project. Notice it fits in a 20 by 20 grid. When I set it down, do not drag the handles because those break the parameters. I'm going to just tell you to type these numbers. We are going to put a 20, and we are going to set the wall thickness at 3. You can leave the rest of these alone. The next part we're going to use is the sketch tool. When you bring this out, set it right in the center. Notice it has a dotted line that helps you line it up, and also it fits in the 20 by 20 grid. Once you launch Sketch, please note the sketch features. This is a fantastic area that is shared with us. It gives you all the tips and sweet tricks that you can use to make Sketch a little bit easier. When you're done learning, you can simply click the X. If you prefer my tutorials, I got a playlist. It'll be right here. Now let me show you some cool things about Sketch. First, it's got a snap grid. We're going to set it to 1/2 because since I made this 3mm, that lets me easily find the halfway mark. We simply want to click halfway in between those. And then we want to click right up here, halfway in between these. And then we want to click over here, halfway between these. And then we want to move down 25. Notice it gives you the number, and are you ready for this? If you hold down Shift, it forces it to go straight. So there is my 25 measurement for that leg. I can hit escape to finish that. Remember we had size 3, so bang, I can simply hit 3 and it now fits that edge, but we do have to do this. Double click and we click up here and hit number 2 to make that smooth. Now when you get to this handle, click, hold Shift and stretch it straight out. It's that same skill where it locks it straight. Now I've got that so it's mirroring that edge, and we've just created the main part that we're going to use. It's time to draw our awesome thumb grip. First, double click to finish that part. And then notice if we go 2 centimeters out and we go 1 centimeter down, we've got 15mm left. We want to build from this dot right here. If we hit P for pen to start it, and we want to move out 7, once again, we can see the numbers. I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Notice that does make a half. I'm going to go back to that same spot or close. If you miss this, it's not a big deal. And then we're going to go over 11, and I'm going to click and make that straight. So I just built it with straight lines, but once again, I can click and change these. Make that a number 2, and it makes it smooth. And then I'm going to take this one and make it number 3, which is broken. What that allows me to do is bend this independently. So now I can give this a nice sweep. I can click on this point and move it over 1/2 millimeter with my nudge. And I can just adjust that 1 click. So we've got a nice smooth part. Then we can grab this whole piece and move it out to the edge so that our design smoothly switches. I'm going to even move it back 2 more clicks so you can see that's just a little bit more smooth. Now if you look behind the orange line there, it's not quite as smooth. Just remember that's that tube that we built earlier. If we hit finish, we can now click on that tube and change it to a radius of 50. And then when you look at your shape, you can see just how smooth it is. I will show you quickly, we could have made these sides smoother, but it just really doesn't change anything for what I was trying to show you. Now we need to cut a hole under this. We're going to actually cut it with this same part. Do Control D, make it a hole, and choose Edit. Now everything that's in here is trash, so we can delete those. But what it does is it gives us a great view of the inside of this. So I'm simply going to keep my 1/2 millimeter nudge. I'm going to go all the way back to this edge, and I'm just going to make a part that goes all the way past it. And I'm going to come back 5 millimeters. So you can see the measurements. There's 11. Come across, and I'm going to finish it like that. Notice I missed that point. No big deal. I can double click on that and bring it back, and it really wouldn't have mattered anyhow. Now when I hit finish sketch, I've got that awesome shape, but I do not want to cut 10, I only want to cut 6 and press enter. Now I'm going to grab those two and do Control G to union group them. That is our clip. We can also do Control D, and I need to flip that one like this and vertically. Make sure you get at the angle so you can see that. And then we simply need to use the nudge to get these to line up. Even with our 0.5 nudge, if we do shift nudge, that's 5 millimeters, 10 millimeters, and then you can just bring it back to get it perfect. Bang! We have just created our little clip. Now we just need to make the fancy ends and connect them. We are going to make the end with a new piece of sketch. I'm going to bring it in and just set it in the 20 by 20 grid right here. I'm going to choose to build this right here though, this way, because it works better when I look at it. So we're going to make this 16 millimeters out. Then we're going to go up 4 and over 1. Then I'm going to simply go up 1 millimeter. Then I'm going to go down 2.5. Notice you can see that number. That's what's so cool about this. If we zoom in, these dimensions stay out of our way, and we can just find the next one that says 2.5. Notice it's on the same line. Move down here, find the 2.5, bang, 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 and then this one, I'm going to go up past. So we saw the middle line, and I'm just going to do the same thing where I go up past, and then we're going to finish it. Now we can double click, and we're going to simply grab these. Note I'm on this side. I'm going through and selecting all of those, only getting this one. Notice I skipped that one, and then we're going to hit 3 to auto smooth them. Bang, we have just got a gripper. Now I am going to modify this. I've decided just now that I want that to be 0.5 millimeter higher. All we do is start from here, and we can drag across. Notice I've only got those 4, and go up 0.5 millimeter. That's the shape I want. I'm also going to take this one down here and just make it a little less. I think that's going to look better when we're done. Now we need a second gripper. Check this out. Control C and Control Shift V. Shift nudge to move it up. We can flip this by making this -5. And then if we double click this one and we just grab the points, now notice I missed that time. So I'm going to do Control Z. And then from this gap, if we just grab the points, notice I got rid of those numbers intentionally. Now I can do that same trick where I just grab these, and we're just going to use the arrows to get the curves to move the other way. Notice this one is a tiny bit off. I click somewhere else. Let's zoom in so we can get away from these, or you can disable them. Remember, we had those on because they gave us the measurements we needed. And I'm going to set my nudge to 0.1 just for this fine measurement right here. And bang, if we zoom out, we've got our opposite teeth. How cool is that? Now we do need these to be separate, so this part is a little bit tricky. Finish sketch. Let's start by rotating 90 degrees and doing Control D. And then the teeth are going to face opposite ways. So check this out. I'm moving these teeth to this side. I'm moving these teeth to this side. Now we simply double click and get rid of the ones we don't need. Move this out to the edge. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch, double click, click, delete, and move these out to the edge. To achieve our pretension, this is where it gets really slick. Click on this edge, hold down Shift, click the tube. Zoom out till you can find this rotation handle, and simply rotate right 1 click or 22.5 degrees. Let go, click the other side, hold down Shift, click the tube. Once again, 22.5 degrees or 1 click in this direction. Notice this will be a little thick back here, but that's awesome. It just gives us some more pretension. Now we can grab this one and rotate it 22.5 degrees. Grab this one and rotate it 22.5 degrees. And then we simply move them into place. I am going to hide the tube because I'm done with it. And if we zoom in, we can get those to be a little bit more precise. Notice you can also see how this doesn't meet. We can double click, and now that it's in place, I can take this part and I can just drag it to the exact spot where I want that to meet. Can't adjust this one because it's a separate piece, but I was able to zoom in and peek at it while I was in there. Notice now that one lines up really awesome. This time I accidentally double clicked on that part, so I'm just going to click out here to finish it. Now I can double click on this part, zoom in, and once again when we double click, we can adjust those points so it does exactly what I want. And finish sketch. That, my friends, is a clip that this is going to come over top once we print it, and you will have a pre-tension clip. Simply grab it all, choose Export, STL. I'm in my 3D modeling folder, and I'm going to keep that name Clip 26. Of course, now we can bounce to Bamboo Lab Studio, create a brand new project. Let's add that file. Once again, it's at the very top of my 3D modeling folder. I'm going to print it with generic PLA. I do want to switch to the strength setting, 0.2, and let's slice the plate. We'll have a fantastic clip in about 25 minutes. Let's hit print plate and send it to the 3D printer. And less than 30 minutes later, we have got a clip. All right, so here we are with our brand new clip. This was printed in strength mode. We just bring it over, and then when you squeeze, it opens. How cool is that? Now, of course, there were several tests. You can see I did not get the teeth right there. This one, of course, is great. This one just flat out didn't even work. Notice they're aimed the wrong way. You can test and have fun and make these as awesome as you want. You will notice I do want to highlight this one opens the furthest because I made that gap the full length. A quick wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to ZDP189 for starting me down this path. He shared the initial project and made this all come together. I also want to challenge you. If you make an awesome one or you just have fun with it, please let me know via the channel or any of the other places you can find me on the internet. I do want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Also, make sure you pay attention to those members only posts. A massive shout out as well to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love how that group is growing. We are past 350 members. It has a fantastic messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe, you're helping HLModTech get just a little bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.